Right, well, I'm Gaz Misfit. It's the first Undead 13 podcast. We're doing it how it is. Well, I'm Gaz Misfit anyway.
I'm Tank.
And I'm your friendly neighbourhood monster.
That's how it is. Well, we're just going to talk some shit, talk about some horror and carry on with what we do in it. So
Hopefully you guys
enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's what it's all about. It's all about spreading the horror.
See what you did there. That fucking works, doesn't it?
I've done this a few times before.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Right, so go on then. Right. We're doing this.
Right, so let's start easy, right? We're English horror punk fans. So let's start talking about English horror punk.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
What English horror punk are you listening to at the minute, Tink?
The band I've just really got into big time is Gravedale High.
Love them.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic band. I love the speed of them. The speed they play at is different to every other horror band in England at the minute. They play a real punk rock style sound.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I really think they need to face paint it up and get more of the horror look. They've got the horror songs and the horror music. Let's get a bit more of the horror look. You know?
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah, too right.
Good thing as well about the UK bands, they don't all sound the same either. They've all got their own sort of sound.
All got their own sound.
They're all very, very different, which is really cool. Arm and the Walking Corpses.
Yeah, Corpses.
Got to be one of the heaviest UK horror punk bands going.
We can't.
They've got one of the
not
heaviest horror
bands.
punk bands going, actually. There's not many that really
No, not as heavy as what they are. Definitely not.
Right.
I mean, when they originally started with the big double bass, which added a bit more, even heavier sound.
Yeah.
And now they've got the 5-piece, which does sound a hell of a lot better. And it gives it more. They've lent more now from that heavier side to the punk side sort of thing.
Yeah. Which Steve's still heavy as fuck now.
Yeah, and I love them. Always have done. They're brilliant. They even played at my wedding. Do you know what I mean? So, love them guys. Limp and Tooth. What do you think of them?
See, I've not got the chance to see him live yet. I'm looking forward to getting to meeting Tommy properly, getting to see him live. Again, they've got a very raw sort of, UK sort of, again, punk sound.
Yeah, I like them. I really do like them.
Very distinct.
They are better live.
Yeah, I've only live wise. I'm a little bit live. CD, it took me a while to get used to.
Yeah,
I'm always about the live experience.
But at the same time, Tommy, by going by his Facebook and what he puts on stuff like that, he's one busy guy. That guy does not stop. Well, you know what I mean. He's not the oldest. He's not the oldest guy. You know, so he's a young lad sort of thing compared to my age.
And 50.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I've got a Bible signed by Jesus. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's all right. Yeah. I'll put it on eBay. Yeah, but no one will believe me. It's signed by him. So, but yeah, it's one of them things. You know, I mean, he's a young lad. He's got everything going for him, and I mean, he's going to spend a lot of time in Germany at the minute. You know, what I mean, touring with Dr. Hell and stuff like that. It's all seems to be going well for him. Do you know what I mean? They're a good little band. Do you know what I mean? So.
And speaking of touring in Germany, 13 Shots as well. They're playing with Jamie, aren't they?
Yeah, in November they're doing a date with Jamie Rock.
So again, it's a good sign. The UK bands are getting over into the Europe side of things.
So try and get the Europe bands
over
here,
which is what we need.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
Trying to cross things over.
So,
end of the day, we are part of Europe, so let's all get backwards and forwards. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. It's like we went to France earlier on in the year, didn't we, to see Bloodsucking Zombies? We're going to Hell Nights this year.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Hell Nights is going to be
next level.
That's going to be awesome. Tink, you're missing out on this one.
Next year, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's going to be one hell of a good show.
Especially seeing Goolsby and whatever lineup they got with Windhawks there. It's going to be
hope for Windhawk.
Yeah. And you got Limbid there, a band I've always liked. Yeah,
I've only just recently got into him.
He's got. It's always kind of puzzled me why they fit in the horror punk scene, but his voice is amazing. His voice is absolutely fantastic, and that's what drew me more towards that band. And then you got the others, which again are coming over this year. Do you know what I mean?
November,
So it gives some of the English bands a really good to tour with someone of that big and of that caliber band sort of thing.
And again, the Looping Tooth are supporting the other as well, which is so so that'll be cool to see.
Definitely, it's going to be next level that week. It's going to be a busy week that week. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, And then after that, they're off to the States or whatever as well. And I see on their Facebook, they're off there.
Yeah, early next year. Is it, March, I think, next year they're doing it.
Yeah, playing with B-Movie Monsters.
Yeah.
Again, great band.
Yeah, we're doing a date with Windhawk and the Morticians. That'd be good. Epitaph Romance playing with them as well for a few days.
Are they?
Yeah, we're doing a few dates with them, so that'd be fucking sweet.
That's good, yeah.
That's a band that I'd love to see live. And
yeah. But the problem is when you got some of the big horror bands from America, it's such a big leap for them to come over to the English scene because it's not that huge. I mean, it's up and coming, and we're getting there.
So
there's a couple of years ago, it was non-existent. Really.
I mean, we had the Travelling Morgue Festival earlier on in the year.
That was absolutely spot on. That day.
Fantastic, and if we can do that every year, and surely, but you know what I mean, it's
next year, like you said before, 2 dates.
Yeah, they've got the 2 dates. It'd be is it 30th?
It's the end of April. It's the last 2 days of April, so
it'd be a good couple of
2 days. Yeah,
can't wait for who they get.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Who they
they won't tell us, so we're hoping there's something big's coming along.
Yeah, so
yeah. I mean, we were supposed to have Jamie, weren't we, this year? But unfortunately, they couldn't get over and stuff, which was a bit of a bummer. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe this year, or next year, should have said.
Next year, hopefully, Johnny's been gone over and he plays with them. And I mean, I don't honestly know what exactly happened and how they can get over. I don't know the full story, sort of thing. But you know, I mean, it was a bit of a letdown. Do you know what I mean? But
it happens, I think, sometimes.
We coped, you know what I mean? We still had
it was still an absolute
great
fantastic
day.
Such a good laugh.
Yeah, great little lineup. Yeah, do you know what I mean? All friends being there, chopping away and chatting, and it was great.
Again, hopefully though, with all the UK bands and European bands sort of going back and forth, it'll make things easier for touring with each other.
Yeah, well,
they'll help each other out. Exactly, they'll help each other
out.
And
with us, keep spreading the word. Well, that's selfish plug there. We don't give a shit.
Cheap pop.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. That's what I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, just carry on what we're doing. So.
Yeah. That's basically what we're heading for. Is hopefully we want to be all united as one. And the Americans come over here, we go over there, and it's one big thing. Do you know what I mean? But we're so far apart.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
It's so much money to get an American band to come over here and play. And if they do come over and play, there's a chances that they won't own as much money as what they would have if they were played somewhere local, where the fee of flights and everything and that don't come into question. So,
all right, okay. On that note, then, who would you have from the States come over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Again, that's a hard one because
pick
it all depends on who I'm listening to.
It always changes.
Yeah, but if you can pick 3, excluding the Misfits, because
they're always the obvious choice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not.
For me, right,
out of people we've not seen before.
Yeah,
so I mean, you can't include Gillsby because we've seen him in Blitzkid. We treat this as separate. Gillsby definitely in the Road Midnight. Yeah, Windhawk for me as well.
The Morticians, yeah.
And I was going to say Calabrese, but we've seen him, so let's go for something different. Again, I think I'll go with what you said about Epitaph Romance. Again, it's sort of a band that have got a great sound that get them over here.
Yeah, so you're right.
It's a hard question.
I was about to say, I dread getting to me because I can't think.
Yeah. That's why he looked at me and was like, you can go next. Grave Robber.
Grave Robber.
I'd love to see Grave Robber.
The man's got such a voice.
It's got a very unique voice.
Oh, it's fantastic. So they're up there as a smaller band. I'd like to, as a band, I'd like to see a smaller caliber band. Who else stateside yet? Got to be Goolsby in the Road Midnight at the minute because they're hot property.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Goolsby's the man.
He's at the minute you can't flout the guy. It's flout the guy, faunt the guy, but whatever the word is, something like that.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, one of them words. Yeah, at the minute he's doing everything right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So them definitely. Yeah, I'd like to see Shadow Wind talk, but you've already said that, so I want to go for something. I want to go for something a little different. Again, we were talking B-Movie Monsters earlier on. You know what I mean? But I'm loving the Jasons at the minute. Love the Jasons. I can't get enough of the Jasons at the minute. So at the minute, at this point in time, I want to see the Jasons. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah. So, I'll go for. Well, I'm always the heaviest side. Doyle for one, because I love to meet Doyle. He's a machine. Epitaph Romance, straight up. I know it's already been said, but I absolutely love that band of pieces. Yeah. And then, I would say Windhoek again because I love what they do.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a case of like, well, if there's anybody else, the main band's what I normally do. It's always the heavier side. So I'd love to see Graves again on his own, but do some of the older stuff.
Yeah,
it's great. You know, Graves is the man. I know it's
a Graves greatest hit, a Gravest hits tour.
Yeah, it can work.
I want something there.
I'm going to put that to him. I'm going to be like, come
Come on.
Gravest hits tour. That's what we want. We want him to come out.
I mean,
everyone when he goes, he does his usual repertoire of songs and that. But I want him to do like a best of. Come out and do, because like I said, the American side, they've got to see that a lot. They've seen him do this, that, and the other. Where we've
missed out.
Yeah, we've got to see him. I mean,
I want to see the makeup.
Gotham Road and stuff like that.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. We never got a chance to see him as Michael Graves and get to see what he's doing. I mean, last time we see him, he was over with Joe Ramone.
Yeah, Mark Ramone.
Mark Ramone,
yeah. And don't get me wrong, it was really good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 2 Misfits songs at the end of the set, and people went absolutely berserk.
Yeah, absolutely berserk. And we came out at half time with the acoustic guitar, didn't he?
Yeah.
And knocked up a couple, and that was just
next
goosebumps.
Level.
It was just. But for us, it's a once in a lifetime chance. We don't get that opportunity so often. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of the things, and that's one of the good things about doing a podcast from the English side point of view, is that we only get to see the European bands, and some of them sometimes we have to travel to go and see them. So we're all dotted about, and there's got to be a link soon somewhere, because everyone's getting closer and closer, and Facebook has brought so many horror fans together that talk on pages and this, that, and the other, and you always see the same names popping up and everything like that, and you always talk to the same people, even though you'll never meet them or ever get to meet them, but you still talk to them like your friends. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's the one good thing about horror punk, is that we are such a big family, yet we're scattered so far.
Yeah.
And we never ever will get to meet each other. Or there's some bands that you're never ever going to get a Hope in Hell's chance to see unless you get your ass on the plane and
get over there.
Fly over there.
Openly play while you're there as well. Because that's the worst thing. It's like your case of, I know the others going over this year, he's doing the US tour. It gives you a little bit of time, because it's March time, the plane. And it'd be alright if you had the money to get over there, sweet. Sort it out, get it done, see that kind of gig. But at the same time, it's like you can't, you're trying to rely on gigs.
No, exactly. I mean, if I won the lottery, Jesus Christ, I'll
be there tomorrow.
I'll be like, right, I'm going on my own personal tour, and what I'll do is I'm going to put my tour around different bands' tour dates. I'm going to travel across the world and come back again, and in that time, do 30, 40 bands, you know what I mean?
That'd be amazing.
That'd be fantastic.
That merch. Oh my God.
Oh. I'd have to post it. I have to keep posting merch back to myself.
Right, yeah.
Because I ain't carrying all these t-shirts.
Surprising yourself. Got a package today. What could this be?
Yeah. Delay the postage when you get home. Come on.
So speaking of European bands, then top 3 European bands. You said American. Let's go European now then.
Okay, European bands. How can you talk about European bands without talking about Cunningham?
Oh, the Ghost. Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
So I was going to say then, but because I've already seen them, I'm going to go with 3 bands that I've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally. Right. Well, go on, Jay. You've got.
I've never seen Jamie Rotten Corpse. He's up there as a band. It's someone that I really want to see. We've seen quite a lot of European bands. We've been quite when it comes quite.
Yeah, we've got quite good with it. To be fair,
the Bloodsucking Zombies are always on that list. Live. They're amazing. Honest to God, they're flawlessly fantastic live. They're brilliant. They're just as good as what they are on the vinyl. So they, to me, would be an every timer. I've not seen the others live. That's why I can't wait for Hell Nights. So I can't say that I would. You know what I mean? I can't judge on that until I've seen them live. Yeah. Yes, I love the music. I love their albums, but until I get to see them live, do you know what I mean? But Ghosts. Again, is another band that are flawlessly good. Vlad sounds
he's incredible.
He sounds incredible.
The stage presence that he has is it's incredible.
You can just rock out.
I mean, when they came to the UK, obviously, the crowds are quite small, but he still works the crowd.
Yeah. It's like, to be fair, at the time, it was such a new thing, and it's like now, if the Ghost came over at this time, I honestly think
it'd be a lot bigger.
Different.
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah, I completely agree. Well, if you think back to. What year was it when I first saw them with you?
I think we first saw them in 2012, I think it were. Was it no,
No,
11.
Before that, 11.
Yeah, because
The Ball's Head. That's when we first met you.
Yeah,
the Ball's Head.
we all met each
We
other.
all met at
Yeah,
the same
Ball's
time.
Head.
Yeah, the dog.
There was
Ball's
like
Head, yeah.
really, there wasn't many people there. So
Good little
really,
venue.
bar us,
Yeah.
but the atmosphere was incredible. And again, you know, you talk about the stage presence.
That's where we first got to see Army playing and everything because they
right.
opened for us, didn't they?
That's correct. Yeah, it was,
especially being Nottingham, which is so close to us, it just opened up floodgates. To be fair,
Yeah,
and it's absolutely spot on.
So your 3.
My 3. I've seen this. Seen the Spook, seen the others, seen Ghosts.
You might have to go with some bands you've already seen.
Yeah, the Fright. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
see,
No,
that's
definitely.
my list as well.
I knew you were going to say it. You're going to say the Fright. Definitely the Fright for me.
Good.
I've been
Without
waiting
doubt.
for years to try and
They're
get to see
fantastic
that band.
live.
Absolutely
Watching them
amazing.
when they do a cover of Mother, that is absolutely unbelievably good. He sounds just like, he really does sound just like him.
Yeah.
And they're the Badass Live.
So
They're Badass
good.
Live.
I like to drink with them. Well,
Yeah.
then again, I might not because I think that could be a bad thing.
Yeah, I've heard the stories.
I've heard battle shots. I've heard all
I was
sorts
about
of
to say the
stuff.
battle shot story.
Yeah. So definitely the Spook again.
Yeah.
Definitely, because the Spook for me are amazing. I've had the chance to see them once, and it was nice open festival. It was a really good do. But imagine it being at a venue over here if they played. Oh man, the place would be buzzing. Absolutely spot on. I couldn't think of anything better, to be fair. And then, well, for me, because I'm going to say this is either way it's the Ghosts. To be fair,
Because they are. I mean,
the
yes.
Ghosts are my number one. They have been.
Yeah.
They always have. If it weren't for, I heard Graves first, and then one random day I was on the internet on YouTube and I came across Forsaken by the Crimson Ghost, and that completely changed everything. I mean, absolutely. And that was it then. I started seeing the bands and then realised it was not just the Misfits.
Yeah.
And then you had the Ghosts, and then that linked to like the Fright, and then it was getting bigger and bigger. Then next minute it all spread out over the world.
Yeah.
And then I'm still searching for bands now that
I am.
completely blow my mind.
I'm still coming across bands
That's
that
the exciting thing though, is when you find new bands
you find
that
it.
you didn't know existed.
especially ones that you find bands that have been around for a while.
long time.
Exactly, yeah.
And you're
Well,
like,
you've got
how-
lots of material to
Yeah, it's
listen
like,
to.
how have I not seen these before?
Yeah.
It's like I was saying earlier on about the Jasons. Seen plenty of flyers and that and adverts with the Jasons on it.
I have as well.
And I've always thought to myself, I'm going to check them out one day. And one day I sit on YouTube, checked them out, and for the last 2 or 3 months I literally have I haven't listened to anything else. Do you know what I mean? I just fell in love with them straight away. It was just like, where have you fucking been all my life? Do you know what I mean? This is unbelievable. You know what I mean? So, what's the most recentest band you've discovered that you've dug and gone, holy shit, I didn't know these existed. Or I did, but...
Again, going back to Gravedale High, really. That was, I knew they were about, but it was only recently where I really got to listen to them. And, I listened to a few of the tracks, and then I ordered the Good Sense of Horror album and Omot's EP. So I've got those on the Bandcamp app now, so I can just listen to them freely. And I'm literally at the moment constantly listening to them.
Yeah, they're good.
Absolutely love them. I love the sound, it's brilliant.
Like you said, when you come across a band and you're like, where have you been all my
Exactly.
life? You know what I mean?
Well, I've not been listening to this for years.
I think 'cause there's so many hidden under all the layers that everybody finds a different one, and you end up telling somebody else about a band, and it ends up, you know what I mean?
Well, this is the one thing that we've said about the whole layers thing. Horror punk is one genre. It's not. It's multiple genres within a genre.
It's horror music.
Yeah.
In the same sense of a horror movie,
Because
slash and movies and
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
Yeah, whatever mood you're in, you've got something there that sort of
Yeah.
fits that point. So the Crimson
I
Ghosts are
hate
very raw.
that discussion
heavy.
of, that's psychobilly, it's not horror punk. It's like, come on, it's all bloody horror. It's all,
exactly.
If they're singing about horror,
it's horror music.
it's horror
Yeah.
music. You know what I mean? Just slap a label on everything. You know what I mean? It's horror music. You know,
You
it's-
go back to
No, it's not.
no, it's
you
not.
go back to the Fright. Their image is like the whole 80s.
Yeah,
They've got that image. Even the sound has got that little thing there. But that doesn't mean they're not
Exactly. It always,
horror. It's
Lyric
just a
wise,
different
it always
sound.
comes back to it.
It
It always comes back to the basics. What they've.
I think horror punk started off as horror punk.
Yeah.
It was punk.
Yeah.
But then it started to branch out, and it's become so much bigger.
Yeah.
And better for it too.
Yeah.
I think, as well as that.
And you can go through the different stages of horror, but by tempos, it's like nowadays all of a sudden it's starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
As in the music itself isn't so fast paced anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going back 5-6 years ago, everything was a bit more quicker. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally like my horror punk rock and straight up fast punk rock, and but like you said, there's so many layers of it that it fits in every day. Do you know what I mean? Every, there's always someone you can listen to depending on what mood you're in.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it really is. It's like for me, I've always been the metal side of things.
Yeah.
Always.
So, but like again, this is what we're discussing now. You've always been the metal side. At a younger age, I got into like the punk scene. You know, not horror punk as such, but just the punk scene in general. So, obviously, that side again, like what you said, it's more the punk
side
so like
of it,
really.
That's what I've when
jumps
I
out
got
to me
into.
more.
I started listening to the more punk side of it, and
Same with me, really. I think.
like original Misfits was such a raw punk sound. That again, it's how a lot of people get put into it. Do you know what I mean? It's your gateway horror drug. You know what I mean? It's like
it must be. Yeah,
it is.
You're right. Yeah,
like Misfits. Oh, what's going to lead into other horror stuff that is.
You're not one of them Misfits cover bands, are you? Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, how many horror bands out there that did honestly start as a Misfits cover band?
Yeah, exactly.
And then through playing Misfits songs, started to write their own songs. And,
Crimson's were.
It's just something people. It's one of them things. It's like a rite of passage sort of thing. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, well, it's like now we've got the whole bands out of the way. Right, this is one for you. If you could think of a lineup,
Don't.
right, think of a lineup that you can have. And all I'm saying is, I'm not going to be able to answer this. This is down to you two, because I'm not going to answer this.
That's not fair.
I don't give a shit. If you can think of your dream... Actually, no, I was going to say line up for one band, but if you can have... I'll make this a bit easier for you. You could have a gig with 4 bands.
What bands would they be?
Of your 4 horror punk bands that you want. Start from the bottom, which is your support.
And then you headline it out.
The last one you announce is your headliner.
You're still a dick.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Jay's thinking it
Jay!
too.
I'll let you go first.
right.
Right,
How much time have we got right now? Yeah, we got long enough to do this.
Okay, yeah. Let's see if I can do this. And it's anyone I want. Right, okay.
To be even easier, if the bands were dead, you can bring them back.
You can bring them back. Okay, right.
Because that's
let's
too
see.
horror punk for you fans out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right. See if this counts. I'm going to go with Crimson Ghost as an opener.
Yeah.
Followed by Bloodsucking Zombies. Followed by the Misfits with Michael Graves.
Oh, dear.
And then Michael Graves is going to walk off stage and then they're going to play the final set with Danzig. And there's your 4 bands.
There you go. You're in a Misfits tribute band, aren't you?
Yeah.
You think?
Fuck off.
Like I said, I'm answering.
You've got to answer after I've answered. You're not getting out of this. Oh, jeez. Where'd to start? I'd say The Fright as an opener. Followed by... I hate you. Followed by Windhawk.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Followed by The Crimsons. Followed by Blitzkid.
Ooh, gone for the Blitzkid route, have you, mate? Right, okay.
Right, yeah, you're not getting out of this.
I'll have The Fright.
Fuck off, I have The
Start
Fright.
off with, yeah. Epitaph Romance to make it a bit heavier with it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'd have The Ghost. And then I'd have the main headline is my own makeshift band, because that's what I'm changing all the rules.
Are you cheating now?
Yeah, exactly.
Me and Jay didn't get this set up.
But all I'm saying is I'll have Goolsby's Revolving Midnight, because you've always got Argyle and Windhawk, but then the rest of the band, I'd have The Ghost again, silly name. You know, but imagine Rev, and then you've got Monstro on bass, Rev on drums, and then, you know, Jackal on guitar, and then Vlad can come in and they can do a couple of covers. Oh man, that'd be spot on.
Do you like one of the split albums, but live on stage?
Yeah.
Come out and do each other's songs.
That would actually be pretty. That would actually.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if you can have like, well, okay, next question then. If the
You're dumping us in the shit again.
I am too. All right, if you can have a band, like 2 bands, that
do split.
Yeah, together. Well, okay, do it on stage for a couple of tracks, and you can play each other's Like you said, you
So,
started it.
basically saying which two bands would you do as a split where they covered each other's tracks?
Yeah, Jay, you started it.
What I'd like cheat and say, I'd have Misfits covering Michael Graves covering Danzig songs and Danzig covering Michael Graves songs.
Oh, that's not fair.
No, I'd have.
That's a tough question, actually. It's really tough because of the difference in style of a lot of the bands.
Exactly.
To get them to cover,
I will go.
you know what I mean? You can really go off, like, you can really switch things there.
Blitzkid and
Right.
Bloodsucking Zombies, because they're
That'd be interesting.
quite far apart. So hearing what each person would do
next level
with each other's music, it'd be quite good. That's my two.
I hate you.
Do you want me to answer?
Go on then. I'm going to think. Yeah, you go ahead.
Doyle on guitar, doing the old Danzig stuff with the Fright singer. Those two mixed together, because it'd be like the old with the new. Yeah. When it mixed together, I think it'd be something special. Right? They can still play Fright songs, and when they do the old Misfit stuff, it really work well.
Yeah, you would, yeah.
Even if they did the Grave stuff, I think it'd still work. Has that helped? I only
No.
20 seconds.
No, it really hasn't. Who would I have? I'd maybe do the Fright and Gillsby, possibly. Or the Fright and Blitzkid.
Yeah, that'll work.
Again, two sort of different styles, but maybe they could complement each other.
Yeah.
Because they're a little bit different.
See that working. So you can't wrong with that. Yeah, maybe. Just, yeah.
Try it out.
Yeah. Do it. Just do it.
We'll see how it goes. Two ways, really, isn't it? But like you said, it's the dude from the Fright. He's got that Danzig sound.
Yeah.
There's a lot of singing. There are a lot of bands out there that have got the Danzig
Doyle
sound.
punch someone, to be honest.
Yeah, just hit somebody. Yeah.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
All right, okay. There's his next question. Then. If Doyle could punch anybody,
oh,
punch.
Oh well. Here we go.
Triple H.
Triple H. Oh man, break his nose even more.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute, Seth Rollins did that.
Yeah, so right. I'm going to say something so UK, everyone's going to hate it.
Yeah, and I think I know exactly what you're going to say, because I bet you say the same as I do.
Jeremy Kyle.
Oh, you can say Jeremy Kyle.
Who are you saying?
Doyle versus Jeremy Kyle. I want to see. I want to see Danzig and Michael Graves on Jeremy Kyle arguing over who's got rights and stuff. That'd be well funny. Have Jeremy Kyle try to break him up.
Yeah,
Doyle punch David Cameron.
That could work. Cheap pop.
In fact, just all MPs.
Everyone.
All the MPs just.
Yeah. We are now the Undead.
Go for it.
I want to see him be a real arsehole about it and punch Beyonce.
That would actually be quite fun.
In a lift.
In a lift. Oh, yeah, it could work.
That would actually be pretty cool. I think we should.
Because I don't care about the man or woman. Just let him punch Beyonce.
Yeah.
Everybody vote this.
Yeah, please.
Right, message on postcards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody punch Beyonce.
That's what you want to do, yeah.
Right, because since
India Go-Go one.
Yeah, we'll basically say donate 15 quid.
Yeah, it'll get to the point where there's gonna be that much money. She'll be like, it'll be like 10 million in a kitty. She'll take it just to take a right hook. Yeah, it'll be like, that's brilliant.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah.
Or a guitar smashed over the head.
Yeah.
Not Doyle's.
No.
No.
You'd have to get with the Annihilator. You'd have to annihilate Beyonce. Whack straight over the head.
Yeah, that could work.
Take her out in a lift.
So you'll get half a swing.
Doyle wouldn't even get in the lift, would he? He'd be like,
I'm taking the stairs.
You'd have to wait at the top for her, which comes out.
As she comes out,
then smacks her.
Bang! Yeah.
As soon as it dings, doors open guitar.
Yeah. Doors just stood there like that. Clang! Brilliant.
My work here is done.
Yeah.
Goes back in the lift.
Yeah.
I got another cool question for you, because we are too horror punk. Remember, you got to remember that one. If you could have one of your favourite bands on stage, and then there was 3 or 4 people in the front row, and they all happened to be your favourite movie. Either it could be your slashers, Universal monsters, any kind of movie.
Three people
I'll
are your
say
favourite
4.
sort of horror movies.
Horror movie, anything.
You
Four.
mean go to watch like the Crimson Ghost?
So you saw the ghost in
Jason.
front?
Yeah, it's
Maybe. Or you're going to stab
it might work out a bit wrong there because there won't be much for a mosh pit. It'd be just dead people.
It'd just be a pit
And
of
him.
bodies, yeah.
It'd be a dead pit.
Or actually on stage, man. Up to you. They could be
What, Freddie up singing?
doing the YMCA or whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Again, that could go very wrong with the gloves or the knife doing the wine.
Yeah. Watch it. Take some time with that. Yeah.
Okay, we're going off topic here.
I wonder what sort of music Freddy Krueger would be into.
It's a very good point.
Beyonce.
You asked me, he's a Beyonce fan, yeah. That's what happens.
Well,
she dreams, Freddie turns up, tells her the lyrics, and she wakes up going,
I've got
this brilliant song. Do you know what I mean? I've just seen it in a dream.
maybe Freddie's nightmare is listening to Beyonce.
Could be.
Could be.
It's his own personal nightmare.
Yeah.
But going back to the conversation we started with.
Oh, that's the
4.
next level.
Because we keep going back to Beyonce again all the time.
I know this. What's going off? 4P4.
I'll say 4, yeah.
If you come out as a band and see 4 people stood there, you'd be like, am I going to bother?
Right, well, this
I
is
suppose
a shit crowd.
If one of them was Leatherface, you'd be like, yeah, I better. You know what I mean? I better go out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got any idea for that?
Is that Ginger Child over age?
Put that knife down.
So basically, your 4
Where's
horror
your-
icons.
Do they have to be our icons?
Do they have to, or are we talking even
Serial
killers?
killers. This is what I'm trying to get at. It could
Ooh.
be anyone. You could say Tony Blair. 'Cause no one
No,
knows
not really.
that.
No.
Like I said, the undead politics. That's what we are now.
Tony is his daughter Linda.
No, that's one of the answers. You bastard. Yeah, go on.
Linda Blair stood there.
Proper
With a
Reagan.
with a back towards you.
Like
with a
proper
head spun around
PC.
watching you from the back.
Yeah,
Behind.
you know where the usually have the barrier?
Yeah.
I wanted doing the crab over the barrier, and she's rocking,
That'd be interesting.
then puking on stage so everyone sleeps.
Yeah, but if she peed on
Nice.
stage, if she's at angle, she's gonna get with whoever's like playing on stage right in the face,
That's their problem.
like peeing in her eye.
Pea soup. Got a good work on it. Too much into it. That's what
What 4 people would I have sat still in the crowd? That's a hard question.
Pinhead, for me, he's my favourite.
he's going to march. He's going
I
to hurt
love
someone.
Pinhead.
If he marches, he's going to hurt someone. But
Yeah.
Again, yeah, but that's gonna work for him, really, isn't it?
Maybe.
He's killing people.
If he
Although he
drops
doesn't. Although Pinhead's not really about the whole kill, is he?
Would the
More
bouncers
for
take him all out before he gets allowed to go in?
The body.
You can have him back afterwards, sir.
Cut magnet out. So you got
Pinhead
Pinhead.
in an
Pinhead.
airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You bastard. Metal detector.
You'd have to use the laminate configuration to like transport himself around.
That's cheating.
It's Pinhead. What do
It's
you want?
not fun.
It's not like.
It's not going for a detector. And
Fuck. I'm making something different.
and
That's
then
why it
the
works.
woman's like, oh, I wonder what that could be, and he's like,
Are you wearing a
Please
belt?
remove
Oh, fuck.
Are you wearing a watch?
Yeah. You have to hold your
Do you have
trousers
any
up.
jewellery? Again, we'll go way off topic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, shit, that's what we do.
Yeah.
So you got Pinhead, that's one.
Pinhead. Oh. I don't know. It's quite a tough one because there's so many out there that you could really go with. Pennywise.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I'm gonna go with like what I sort
Yeah.
of guess grew up with on the horror scene, really.
Yeah,
So
well, the
I'm
only
gonna go
problem
with
is
Pinhead.
Bastard
Pennywise.
balloons. trying to give you a balloon when
Oh,
you're halfway.
fuck.
Yeah.
I'd be always the guy stood behind him, and the balloon would just be in the way.
He's going, and
you'd be
then
like,
you turn to Pinhead, take his pin out, and go,
So
Ah,
strategy.
thank you.
It's
Strategy.
working. Yeah,
Right,
put it
okay,
back in. It's like a little corkboard head.
without noticing.
Yeah.
Shopping Monday.
Shopping list. Got a pair of darts.
So Pinhead. Pennywise.
Pinhead.
Jason Voorhees
Can't go wrong with that.
and Regan.
You bastard.
Pea soup.
Pea suit, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to go?
I'm gonna say Leatherface.
That's another one, yeah.
Beetlejuice.
That'd be a good one.
Don't say it.
The Joker.
Oh.
He's a bad man.
I reckon he'd be fun to
Too right.
do you want me to play to? I reckon he'd proper
Just be
get
laughing
into
at it all
it.
the time.
Proper get into it, I reckon he would.
What's that? That's what you need.
It's something funny.
And then Chucky, just for the small factor.
Yeah, trying to get over barrier.
Yeah.
You can't reach.
He'd be killing people like anybody's saying because it's too dark. He's so small with his knife.
Got wrong with that. Well, I'd have Regan, Freddy, Jason, just so those can fight over a spilt pint, which would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Scream because he looks shocked.
Yeah. There's at the point he's like,
yeah, exactly. It all kicks off.
Is he shocked at them two fighting over their pint?
Yeah, too right.
What's Regan doing while they're fighting? Or they fight over Regan perhaps?
Two
And
drugs.
he's shocked.
Maybe.
yeah, because
Ow.
you know what I mean, as wrong as it would be, it's in horror world, it's legal.
Everything's legal.
Yeah, I reckon that's what I would do.
Right.
Top 3 horror films of all time. If we're going to stick with the horror, just horror in general.
What are you doing? 3 to 1.
Yeah. No, just go for 3. Just go for
just
just
three.
3.
Three we
Again,
go
for
to.
me, this changes.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to
Constantly
say, it's
changes
always,
for me, but
it's whatever. It's like with bands.
I think I'm going to go with what I grew up with. For
Yeah.
me, again, with the ones that I watched when I was younger, that was sort of.
It's the ones that
constantly
stuck
watched.
with you.
Yeah.
So that's that thing. For my number one's always going to be The Exorcist, always, hands down, because that's the one that really kind of changed me into watching movies and horror films. Freddy Krueger's my little brother hated him, which I thought was hilarious. I thought he was so funny. And probably, I would say do something up to date, but everything out lately is shit.
Don't go there. Just yeah.
I know it's not really a horror film, but I love Evil Dead just because it's so cheap.
Evil Dead's yeah, but it is though. I mean, it's an absolute classic.
Yeah, isn't it? Well, that's it.
And the series is out next month in the States.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the
Ash
trailers
vs.
for
Evil
it.
Dead. Oh, it looks
It
fantastic.
looks very promising.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I really can't wait. 3 for me, straight off the top of my head, because again, it's something what I agree with is Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining. I know it sort of borders off a little bit, but I absolutely love that film, and it's the ones I grew up with the most. So the ones I've seen the most probably over time.
I would say my top ones are Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, Dawn of the Dead original,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
too,
absolutely brilliant.
and Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Yeah.
Huge fan of Zombie Flesh Eaters. Scene with the eyeball and that.
Well, I should have said Hellraiser because Pinhead's like still my
He's your
favourite.
man, isn't
Yeah, it's just too many to mention. That's the problem.
he? Yeah. Right, we'll go back to music, shall we?
Yeah.
And wrap it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think actually, with all the topics we've just had, if whoever watches this, it'd be good to get some feedback of them, like what their opinions are and everything we've sort of gone along
How
with.
it works, yeah.
Or if you've got any questions, anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be
We'll answer
cool to
them.
back off people and
Yeah.
Get your
If
thoughts.
you've seen Regan hanging over a barrier, it's...
tell us what she is.
Yeah, tell us she is, we'll go.
Yeah. Tag
I'd
us
like to
in
be there.
Yeah. I want pictures.
it. You want pictures, yeah.
Yeah. So, the things that are coming up lately is they're doing a UK one in Nottingham next week, which will be the 26th.
26th.
26th
Which
September,
is
yeah.
September.
part of the travelling more.
Yeah, part of the travelling more,
Yeah.
which is...
Lineup's great.
Yeah.
Lineup's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
it
a really
is.
good little lineup.
Yeah,
Great
it's gonna
to
be
have into Army Walking Corpses.
corpses.
Is it Chucks and Cherry there?
Yeah, Chucks and Cherry. I
There's
think a
somebody
band
else
that's
too.
just pulled out.
Lupin too. They're there as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then there was
and
there's a band that's just had to pull out, and I can't remember. Is it something Murder by Crows or something?
is it them? I don't know.
Yeah. Then after that, there's
The other we've got coming over in
the other one coming
November.
over in
November, yeah.
which is just
We're
gonna be
going
absolutely
over to Germany. Well, just Germany wise, we're doing Hell Nights, aren't we, over at
Yeah.
Halloween? And the other are coming, and then Savage Monster have got a date
on the
in
21st
21st
of November, which is Lupin Tooth. Is it Bloodthirsters?
Bloodthirsters,
Gravedale
Gravedale
High,
Eyes, might be a
and
good
the Misfits cover.
I think is it Fiend? Is it Fiend Fit?
Something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
It's
I think they're the opening act, aren't they?
yeah, it's female tribute band.
Yeah,
So that should
that's
be
right.
cool. And then another Savage Monster doing December.
19th of December.
Yeah, which is going to be sweet because you get to dress up as a zombie Santa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's going to be brilliant to get dressed up as some psycho zombie maniac Santa. That's going to be a good laugh, that is. It's going to be some serious fun. All the pictures are going to be fantastic. They're just
Serious.
a room full of...
I'm going to give people empty boxes.
Yeah. Go and give people coal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say, you got to go with the coal.
On fire.
And then obviously next year, the Travelling Morgue.
Yeah,
No
next year.
lineup
That's
yet,
yeah,
but
yeah. As soon as that's
it's-
going out, that weekend's going to be. I
The
mean,
more we know, the more we will tell you.
yeah.
yeah, too right.
Naif's keeping his
Yeah, they're Johnny's when
firmly shut on this one.
All keeping it quiet.
I think it could possibly be quite big next year. It's,
Yeah, well, it's going to be good. Well, we're going to be
well, the
there.
fact it's going to be 2 days as well. That's quite promising, isn't
Because
it?
last year was absolutely outstanding.
So
So with it being 2 days, it's going to be more fun and it's going to be absolutely
Yeah.
spot on. So, all right, we finished with that then.
Yeah.
Well, this has been the first roundup.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that, can we?
No, we can't really give out. I was for a different stab at it. I think I worked out pretty well.
So, yeah,
It's
it's
talking.
good.
You know, we can only get better, I think, really. You know what I mean?
And if you don't like it, I don't like you. Right. Well, I'll sign off then. See you later, meows. We're the Undead
Take it
13,
easy.
so it's what we do.
See you at the shows.
Yeah, see what it shows.